Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Morning. How are you? I have some. You. I have something for you. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna see him here today. Oh, all right, we have. All the time. Well, yeah. He said it's something. It could have been worse for you.
No, I think that's.
We didn't get a reading one. It was great. Yeah, very positive. So I just need them to, yeah, so. Well, to me, they were, so pretty good. Fine, so I'm gonna send her back for me. See what I'll. Okay. Yeah, I'm not, I'm not asking you. I don't want arguing. So I'm gonna start first. Anyway, yeah.
But I just, I mean, first of all, I'm just figure out, is that like a, oh, wow, that type of discovery, or is that something that happens?
Just winning.
Not a year, so something that was. You can have just.
It was only really talking about just knowing that well, right? I'm also saying.
Oh.
I know it looks like, but it's still. Actually, let's see that over. Go. Well, that's sure that doesn't come in.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not going.
Got it.
That is something. This is it's a.
Yeah.
They. Hockey, you don't have to, no.
Yeah.
Interesting
how it unfolds. Interesting enough, I was having a conversation, actually, in my. And the comment that only court public hearing on it, because they wanted to support. And say, oh, but they're not. That was the one, her one, this is. The one that they wanted to. That they're using to exclude them. And I. Yeah, no.
Yeah. I think today.
What we're. Drop off somewhere. Yeah.
Morning to the Bucks County Community College Board of Trustees meeting being held on December 18th, 2025 at the Newtown campus. Apologies to the public for a little bit of a delay this morning, but we'll make it up for you and with some very quality presentations. Before we stand for the pledge, let me introduce the two members of our community who will be leading it. Megan Brogan is a U.S. Air National Guard civil engineer, a civil engineering training specialist whose early career began with enlistment in 2023, followed by basic military training at Lackland Air Force Base, Texas, and technical training in water and fuels system engineering at Shepherd Air Force Base. Assigned to the 201st Red Horse Squadron at Biddle Air Guard Base, PA, she supports mission operations by maintaining, repairing potable water systems, storage and distribution infrastructure, and ensuring compliance with environmental and safety standards. Still building experience toward her 5-level upgrade, she's committed to mastering her Air Force specialty code and contributing to unit excellence. Megan is set to graduate from the college with an Associate of Science degree in December 2026. She serves as student president of the Veterans Club, committed to strengthening a community among military-affiliated students, and she lives in Bucks with her family. Megan, where are you? Please stand. Thank you. Joining Megan today is John Kirby. John is a retired U.S. Army infantryman and first sergeant whose 22-year career included multiple combat deployments, senior leadership roles across Europe and the Middle East, and training responsibilities ranging from platoon sergeant to senior military science instructor at Princeton University's Army ROTC program. After retiring in 2023, he graduated summa cum laude from the college with an Associate of Arts degree. He now serves as the college's Veteran and Military Connected Student Coordinator, supporting veterans and their families through education and transition services. And John lives in Bucks with his wife, Angela. John? And for his recruitment efforts here and getting us folks to lead the pledge. So if you don't mind, please step up to the flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please place your hands over your heart and lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Megan and John, would you like to say a word or two?
Hi, my name is Megan. I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be here today. It is a privilege to serve as to the United States of America, as well as to the college as president of the Veterans Club. I'm excited for the year to come and the upcoming semester. We have a lot of things planned. So once again, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. John, it's a pleasure to be here today and a pleasure to continue working with the college. I had a really positive experience here at Bucks over the last couple of years. I even continued taking some additional classes post-graduation. So it's a pleasure to be here. Happy holidays. And if you have any questions, not, thank you.
Thank you. Now we have some guests from the Early Learning Center. They are.
Yeah, exactly. They've not been.
Look at that.
Did your thing finally come? So I saw it teetering here on the side and I thought it was
Yeah,
like,
thanks a lot.
maybe it was a physics experiment that you were doing here. And I was like, maybe you decided to come over for finance, do some science
Okay.
instead. One will stayed there for a long time.
Yo.
You were just watching.
I was watching it, the science.
High emotion
What's
on
going to? What force is going to be capable?
I'm gonna put it over there. I'm gonna move in a little bit more. You good?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Dude, was
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some special guests joining us this morning. Also from our Division of Student Affairs, just as the veterans are from our Division of Student Affairs, our Early Learning Center, under the expert leadership of Joanne Eckley and her team. There's some special guests to bring us some holiday cheer.
Looking at the TV. No, but this way. I have a little trade-off. I made it out. When it's struggling. Oh, dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out. And when it's dry and wet, oh, dreidel I shall play. Oh, little dreidel, I made it out again. And when it's dry and wet, oh, dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, 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 I made it out. When it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. Sing through the sky in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! Bells on bobtails ring. Making spirits high. Riding singing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you so much for that wonderful singing. And you give us such joy, make us so happy this time of year. Thank you so very much. We have for each of you a candy cane.
Thank you. Thank
That's.
Go get near me.
You did a good job.
Great.
We're gonna bring it back to school.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Guys. Thank you, it's very good. Thank you so much, very good. Very nice. Thank you, very nice. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Oh my God. Thank you very much. Thank you, it's very nice.
You're gonna be in. For you. Let's see where the bells. Yes,
Oh,
yes. Instead of the gavel.
Instead of the
bell. Yeah.
no. Eating
I paid a C-Tom with the bells. With that, Ms. Brower, the roll call.
Jim Nancy,
Here.
Rhoda Davis,
Here.
Agatha Delangelo, Blake Eisenhart, Jamie Bazelor, here, Ronnie Hughes,
Here.
Sean Suda,
Here.
Tom Jennings,
Here.
Adrian Pink,
Here.
Vince Magyar, Carol Mignoni Ferguson, John Murray,
Here.
Ed Topmagia,
Here.
Bill Worcester,
Here.
Patrick Jones,
Present.
Peter Musa.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Note for the record, prior to this meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss litigation and receipt of contract information. The board also met on an information session on October 30th to receive information from the president and others on IT needs and issues. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 9th meeting? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Is there anyone here for public comment today? Yes, ma'am. Please step up. And if you could give us your name and your affiliation with the college.
Sure. Yeah, no, my name is Mary Arnson, and I'm a resident and taxpayer in Bucks County. And I have a son who attended Bucks County Community College, and I have many friends whose kids, and actually friends who have attended Bucks County Community College. So, and I've attended a lot of events here as well. So I'm grateful for it as a resource. And I'm here today as a concerned citizen. I was gonna say, first of all, I want to say I appreciate the Board of Trustees' service to the people in Bucks County. We in Bucks, we look to the Board of Trustees to provide governance and oversight, and we really appreciate the time that it takes to do that. But as I said, I'm here today as a citizen to ask the board for two things. One, to investigate and ask the Board of Bucks County Community College administration to provide evidence regarding how the administration is doing two things. Okay, so investigate and ask for evidence regarding adhering to the shared governance model and addressing issues that were raised at the June 2025 board meeting by two faculty members. And in the October 9th Bucks County Herald article, raising governance and retaliation concerns. The second thing I would ask the board to do is to engage with the staff and faculty to get their perspectives and address these issues. Specifically, what I'm looking at or talking about are issues relating to hiring practices. And as one example, but I believe there are others, there's the interim Bucks County Community College vice president that was arrested at CB West back in August, but I'm suspecting there are probably others. The processes that were developed and approved by the Board of Trustees to identify and vet potential candidates, but that process appears to have been and may continue to be, I don't know, but appears to be circumvented. The second thing is threats against faculty and staff in terms of tenure, letters sent into their or added to their personnel files, things like that when they try to speak out. The third thing is lack of transparency and FOIA requests. So there does seem to be a lack of transparency and responsiveness to those requests. Fourth is the number of faculty and especially administration staff that have left or appear to have been pushed out. And I would add to this also, I don't know what control the Board of Trustees has over this, but it does appear that the union that represents the faculty and staff seems to be, also not very responsive to the staff and faculty that they are actually elected to represent. So I would also just add at the June board meeting, the minutes noted that the board will address the comments that were made at that meeting. But then in the August meeting minutes, it only said that there was one trustee that commented that they appreciated the faculty comments, I'm quoting, they appreciated the comments at the June board meeting and the administration did a good job with the follow-up report. And that the report demonstrates the issues have been addressed and the administration and staff have worked collaboratively to do so. But given the arrest of the interim VP then in August, October Herald article, these would indicate otherwise. It seems like it is an ongoing issue. So in any case, I would say, we all have a role to play here in Bucks, and I'm grateful to be here in Bucks County. It's an amazing place. Community college is fantastic. But as citizens, government, free press, educational institutions, we all have a duty to one another to provide service, to hold each other accountable. And I'm here asking you as the board to provide those checks and balances that you're empowered to take. So
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Just move on. Couple of items would note from the chair's report. I want to thank the 4 standing committees and the staff that has supported them. All 4 met since our October meeting. The Finance Committee has met on 3 occasions since that time. And thankfully, no need for executive committee action, which is proof that we're getting all of the things we need to react to in time for the regular committee meetings. So thank you to all of the committees and to the ad hoc committee chaired by Vince Magyar as well. The session we had with Dr. Jones and staff on October 30th, I thought was very good to get a sense of the overall IT needs. I want to thank him, Mike Harris, Joe Saxton for putting on an excellent presentation that will inform our actions just today, but in the future with respect to IT issues. We have been planning a retreat for the board, which will be held on January 12th. I want to thank the board for their willingness to be available on either of the dates that we're able to secure from AGB. And I think this will help us address the evolution of the board over time to be in a position to better serve the community as well as exercise oversight over the college as it's changing over this time as well. The revised bylaws that come up later in the morning's meeting will be a good example of that. I'm happy to say that our continuing advocacy with the County of Bucks government. Recall the county is our sponsor, the guarantor of our debt, and our partner in so many things. They've found a way to get us some additional funding next year, and that's going to help greatly, as Dr. Jones mentioned earlier, to alleviate the need for any tuition increases. We expect to have the audit report from the outside auditor within the next couple of weeks. There'll be an occasion for the Finance Committee to review all of the preliminary documents. That meeting is scheduled for the 19th of January. There'll be a special Board of Trustees meeting some point thereafter to receive the Finance Committee report as well as to take action to accept and approve the audit. Dr. Jones?
Thank you, Chair Jennings. I'd like you to draw your attention to the screen up front. As you see with the Veterans and the Early Learning Center, we're a pretty complex organization. We serve people at all points in their lives and with a variety of programs. This is just a nice introduction to Bucks County Community College that our marketing and communications team made. I thought you should all see.
Meet Bucks County Community College, a top-ranked higher ed institution where small class sizes, personal attention, and robust student services support you every step of the way. Whether you plan to pursue your bachelor's degree or launch your career upon graduation, our programs are focused on your future in high-demand fields. Here, you'll discover college the way it is meant to be. Faculty and staff who truly care about your success, a diverse community of learners, and vibrant student life. Innovation and technology around every corner. A rich history of arts and culture. And service to our community. Here, you'll explore your passions and discover new opportunities. We're excited to help you grow and learn inside the classroom and beyond. We look forward to welcoming you to our Centurion family.
So thank you to Dan Knack, Vice President for Marketing and Communications, and his team. This was all done in-house. So well done. The challenge of telling our story, who we are, what we do, who we serve, it's really hard. And this video does a great job of capturing in 60 seconds. And this is something that's then shown at the beginning of admissions events, right, to give people a sense of, okay, welcome to Bucks County Community College. I want to add my voice of thanks to the chairmen for the county commissioners for increasing our funding. As you know, state funding is flat for us year over year. So we received no increase from the state, which is, as we're supposed to be funded 1/3 state, 1/3 county, 1/3 tuition and fees. That's flat, but costs have gone up. Like everywhere else, it's more expensive to do things. And so having an increase from the county means we don't have to raise tuition, which is really important. So we are so grateful to the county for that. I want to give a shout out and thanks and farewell to Dennis McCauley, Executive Director of Safety and Security, who is retiring after 16 years of service here at Bucks County Community College. But Dennis, thank you so much for your service, and look forward to you celebrating your well-earned retirement. Thank you, Doctor. In this room on November 18th, we had 6 members of British Parliament join us. We hosted them for a luncheon. These are 6 members of the House of Commons Select Committee on Welsh Affairs. They were visiting the United States, particularly or specifically New York, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia, to meet with businesses that have relationships with Wales, to meet with members of the Welsh diaspora, and to visit Bucks County Community College to learn about our new articulation agreement with Wrexham University in Wales. It was a wonderful opportunity for us to showcase the college to a group of folks representing, this is like having 6 members of Congress go visit someone else. It was a really big deal. Thanks to our team. They did a wonderful job hosting them. But those, ladies and gentlemen, go back to Wales knowing about Bucks County. And in terms of our role as a community college, as an educational, cultural, and economic engine of Bucks County, that is a perfect opportunity where in that room with them for lunch, distributed among the tables, were our Director of Tourism for the county, Director of Workforce Development for the county. So various folks, elected officials and whatnot, making connections and relationships, speaking about Bucks County and things we might do together. Centering the college in conversations about economic development is really a strategic goal of ours. Not just a place where you come to school, but a place that we are also driver, an engine of education, culture, and economy in Bucks County. So that was a perfect example of that. And that came about because with this program, which was the relationship and the program was designed, Vice President Tracy Timby and Dean Greg Luce. And then we joined the British American Business Council, which is a chamber of commerce in the Philadelphia region for British American business interests. And by virtue of attending their events, where we met members of the Welsh government who reside at the British consulate in New York City. When the itinerary was being put together for this group, they said, wait a minute, there's a particular college that has a relationship in Wales. So thank you to Vice President Timby and Dean Luce for building that relationship. And really, we're ready to launch it in a big way. First opportunity for our students to transfer internationally. So thank you to the both of you for your leadership. A premier event every year at the college are the Martin Luther King Awards. These are where we recognize community leaders, their various categories. There's a business representative, or a business who receives an award, individuals receive awards. I'm very excited about that. Please put on your calendars on January 22nd from 5 to 7. This year it will be in the Gallagher Room. So last year it was in the Lynx Pavilion, you may remember, and reception and event were in the same space, and that's a hard hall acoustically to hear. So instead, we're going to have the outside of the Gallagher Room, the reception part, and inside the Gallagher Room, the actual presentation events. And we hope that that will work better for that. Some academic updates for you. As we end the fall semester, we do have students who graduate mid-academic year. And so this semester, this month, we have 164 students graduating from the college, 140 of them receiving associate degrees, 24 of them receiving credit-bearing certificates. There is no commencement ceremony in December. They all are invited to participate in this ceremony in May, but that's 164 students graduating this month. President's Honor List. This is the honor roll for students. They are earning 12 or more credits with a grade point average of 4.0. This semester, 1,079 students received earned President's Honors. So the Dean's List, which would be a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.99, 907 students. So this semester, 1,079 students, 4.0, 907 students, 3.5 to 3.9. This is really terrific academic work, and these are students pursuing a full-time load. And for the Dean's List, not only is it 12 or more credits, GPA of 3.5, but not a single grade below C. So we're really, really thrilled for those students. Our fall enrollment, we can now share with you that our head count for the fall in credit-bearing programs was 6,435. You'll remember we have 3 starts to each semester, so it's hard to get to the final number, but it was 6,435. That head count is flat year over year. But the number of credits being pursued is up 2.7%, which means the same number of students, but they're taking more credits. Full-time equivalent up 2.7%. So this is a good sign. These are students taking more courses, more than going full-time. Digging into the data a little bit, you always want to look into the numbers to see what's the makeup of that student body. New student headcount was up 5.7%, which means a larger percent over last year. So a larger percentage of this fall's enrollment was new student than last year. Dual enrollment, those high school students taking courses at the college, up 7.2%. So of the fall class, while it was the same number year over year, a greater percentage were in high school or first-year students. So that mix of the student body is skewing more toward dual enrollment and new students. Our strategy then of working upstream to increase dual enrollment students is working. And if we can help them complete the associate degree before going on to their 4-year institution, they save a lot of money. This is both a service that we provide to the county, to the families and of the county, but also part of our enrollment strategy for the college. For winter term, which just started this week on December 15th, our headcount and credits are both up 17%. So we have larger activity for the winter. Spring semester, I can tell you where we are, which I will, which is as of December 15th last year, how many students were registered for spring classes. But recognize that spring classes begin on January 21, and then another modular starts on February 9, and another module starts on March 23rd. So it's a long time until we know what the spring enrollment looks like. But as of this week, those who have registered for classes for the spring, the number of students is up 14% over this same time last year, and the number of credits they're taking is up 13% over this time last year. But again, it's a long time for opening up classes. With this, I want to introduce the person who has come on board to lead our dual enrollment initiatives. You may remember we received a $1 million grant last year from the Pennsylvania Department of Education for a dual credit program, which helps us pay for students of need. Every public high school in Bucks County is participating. So we can say with full assurance that this fall, students in every community of Bucks County are taking college courses with us, regardless of their family's ability to pay. If they meet that certain financial need, we have had the money to help them. This grant is spendable over 2 years. So this is the first of those 2 years. We already know that there's an end to the grant period. We are already working with the school districts. First conversations have been had. We're working on the materials to launch a campaign to raise money to continue this through EITC grants. You may be familiar, businesses can contribute money through what's called EITC. It's tax deductible for them. It can only be used for students in K-12 schools. So our plan is working with all of the school districts in their communities to raise EITC money from businesses that will go to be used for students from those communities to take dual enrollment courses with the college. So we know that we need to be bringing in roughly $400,000 a year ITC in 2 years' time in order to not dip from the grant. And ultimately, we would want to increase that amount of money. The superintendents are very receptive to the initial conversation. They have been terrific partners to this whole process because we didn't just take the state grant money to pay for dual enrollment. We did it to establish a county-wide network that we call the Bucks County College Access Network. And with that, I would like to introduce you to have you welcome the Dr. Yolanda Udvardy. She joined our team to lead this effort and has since then stepped up to be interim vice president for enrollment management. This is still in her portfolio. To give us an update on the fall, Dr. Udvardy.
Thank you, Phil. I also plan to sing Jingle Bells, so yeah. Thank you, Dr. Jones. You definitely gave me a good running head start because a lot of what he mentioned, I'm just going to go over also in my presentation. My goal here is to just show you how access has increased and expanded, how our partnerships are evolving, and how the work fits into the greater, broader institutional enrollment strategy, as Dr. Jones mentioned. So first, we'll see some participation data, and we'll go into the framework that we're building for the Bucks College Access Network, and then we'll show you how that has impacted our students and our community. Okay, so we'll start here. Okay, thanks. So in this first slide, it highlights our student participation across the county. And basically what we're seeing is the head count is up 7.2%, as Dr. Jones mentioned, for year over year. And with that, we had a 13% increase in the number of credits. So that means that while the students are coming, they're also taking more credits. And what that gives us an indication is that early access is going to improve persistence because they're more likely to attain a post-secondary credential. So the earlier we could get them enrolled in courses that are going to count towards something that they can take away, the more likely it is that they're going to enroll in that credential to be able to earn it and move forward. So this slide focuses on the enrollments within the high schools because without the partnership of the high schools, the expansion wouldn't be as robust as it could be. So what we're seeing is of our 637 students, 282 of those students were earning college credits within the high school with grant support. So, and when it comes to the grant support, it's a tiered structure. So while not every course is going to get the same amount of funding, some of them get reduced funding, some of it went towards full tuition-free courses. Other ones we're able to supply books and materials. And we even have money allocated to provide transportation for some of the school districts that send their students to Lower Bucks, Upper Bucks, and main campus. And in this slide too, you'll see that we had 25 courses being delivered across the district in the high schools and 14 high school instructors working together with us to deliver those courses. So this is the Bucks College Access Network. And I think the most important thing to take away is that this is a strategic early college ecosystem that we're developing, and Bucks is going to be at the center of that, kind of making the walls of the high schools porous, and we're working together to ensure that all students have an opportunity to attain some college credit, but also just exposure to that post-secondary coursework so that they can see that it's possible for them to do what they want to do, and also that other schools can work together to ensure that if they need something and one school has it and they don't, we're going to work together to ensure that we can make it happen across the county. And then lastly, I just want to kind of highlight the impact that we've had on the districts and the students and the families. Ultimately, at this point, we are not just exposing students to post-secondary coursework, we're also reducing the cost, right, of the coursework and enabling those students who may have financial barriers to access it early. This will also help us strategically create a predictable pipeline potentially of enrollment. So if we have students that are taking, 30 to 40% of a credential in their high school, we say to them, okay, now if you enroll at Bucks for a little bit more time, you can get that 2-year degree. And with our 2+2 programming and our agreements with other transfer institutions, here you go, in another 2 years, you can have your bachelor's degree. So this is an opportunity for us to start this ecosystem again, these strategic partnerships, and work coherently and across the county to ensure that more students have access to post-secondary coursework. Questions?
How many of the students are coming from the upper end districts, Pembridge, Palisades, Quakertown? Of the 500 programs?
So it's a pretty good distribution, and I will say what's nice for us is Pennridge is one of our largest schools that sends students to Upper Bucks. So we have it's kind of cool. We have Pennridge sending to Upper Bucks, and they also let their students go online. And we also have courses being offered in their high school. So they're one of the models that we like to present. Bristol, another one of those areas, Truman sends students to Lower Bucks. And also they let students go online and they have courses in the high school. And then we have Neshaminy here at Newtown where they do the same thing. So it really is a really good distribution across the county.
But these 500 some students in this program.
637.
So
Fall.
many are from Quakertown, Palisades, and
I can get you those numbers,
Yeah.
how we break.
It'd be helpful to know.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
In terms of N number of students who are seeking financial aid, what percentage are receiving financial aid?
So this isn't federal financial aid, it's funding from the dual credit enrollment grant. And 750 of the enrollments that we had received some level of full, partial, or book support. So if you come back here, so I have it based on credits. So of the 297 credits that were enrolled, 2,000 of them received some financial support.
But is that all students who have requested financial aid?
It's not really that they request financial aid, it's by the school, right? So the dual credit innovative grant was specific to public schools. So we have students that are coming from homeschool that weren't able to use the grant, right? So it's really specific to the schools that are a part of the state funding. But it's a pretty significant portion considering, we had 2,900 registered credits and 2,100 of them received some funding, right?
Have you doled out all the money that you got for dual enrollment applications?
We have much more funding to use.
But in terms of the plan over the 2 years,
Absolutely.
we're on track for the first semester.
Anything else for Lon?
I have just a question, what's the fall enrollment and what was the Upper Bucks fall enrollment?
The fall enrollment, as I shared, was 6,435. I don't have the campus breakdown with me.
I don't know what that.
I can, and the one caveat there, this is where it gets challenging. Because students might take some classes at one location, some classes at another, they might take classes at 2 locations or at a physical location and online. So it gets hard. Online has changed. It's no longer the students are just going to one location. It might be in a course where the faculty member is streaming it in from another campus, or they're just on that campus in person, or they're going to different campuses. So there is a way that Radar makes determinations by the majority of credits that they're taking in a location, and I can get you that information. But just as you're reading it, just so you recognize, they're not strictly at one place, many students.
But it's the question that I get. Being in the upper end, how many are going to the upper end campus and be helpful to.
Absolutely.
Sense, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Chair Jennings, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. For the, before we get to the committee reports, board will recall, and members of the public too, I would hope, that when issues were presented to the board in the spring of 2023 relative to our buildings, this board initiated the remediation. This board did that, even found the money to pay for it. So it get started and insisted the face of that activity on campus at the time was Eric Seidel, who is here today, who very thoughtfully appeared at every board meeting for well over a year to give us an update, because it's an important issue. And we have, continuing on in that tradition, Mike Harris, so now our Chief Operating Officer, a position that did not exist 2-3 years ago. But now we have one, and he's got a report for us on this, and will appear at every board meeting for as long as it takes to discuss these issues.
Thank you, Chair. And like Dr. Ubardi, I will not be singing my report this morning, but good morning, members of Chair Jennings and members of the trustees. Since my last report at the board meeting on October 9th, we've undertaken and engaged the following initiatives related to environmental health and safety here at Bucks. We convened the expanded Health and Safety Working Group. It's a group of 20 Bucks stakeholders, including faculty, staff, and administrators, who will meet monthly to address overall risk management and building safety issues and promote a culture of safety on our campuses. The members of the working group are listed on the Bucks EHS webpage we've initiated. Jerry Roseman, who you met from Occupational Health Consulting Services, and the Mimic Group, our workers' comp provider, will serve as our trainers and technical advisors for this group. Our next meeting is scheduled for January 9th. We have met multiple times with faculty and staff members to listen, discuss, investigate, and conduct on-site assessments of reported concerns. We have initiated and are underway with assessment, testing, cleaning, and remediation projects in various buildings that are currently happening now and through the spring of 2026. We have facilitated safety measures and improvements in academic and lab spaces. We are exploring additional reporting and investigation tools and protocols as we look at ways to continue to improve communications and information sharing on the campus. And we have the email, ehs@bucks.edu. I would continue to have that for anyone in the community to have the opportunity and pathway to report their concerns, which we will respond directly to. We will continue to pursue and implement environmental health and safety initiatives for the health and safety of our entire community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Committee reports, start with the Finance Committee. Trustee Techmagian.
Thank you, Chairman Jennings. Good morning, trustees. Happy holidays. Start with some good news. As you're all aware, the Commonwealth was able to resolve differences and pass a budget on November 12th. Thanks to Niels's leadership, the college was well prepared for any potential impact on our financial operations. Fortunately, we did not need to proceed with any borrowing or associated costs with it. The additional good news, which was mentioned several times, was the additional allocation from the county to help us subsidize funding and avoid any of those increase in tuition fees. There's been a great deal underway within the finance team over the last 2 months. In addition to preparing for that potential revenue note, Niels and his team were concurrently advancing work on the new student information system, which is part of your agenda today. There are also several consent agenda items before you this morning on the agenda, all of which have been thoroughly reviewed by the Finance Committee. And lastly, amid all of this other activity, the team has continued to make solid progress on the year-end financials as well as the single audit, while also working through ongoing personnel development within the team. And then as Chair Jennings noted, we are meeting on January 19th to review the final financial year-end packet to be then voted and approved by the board. There's a lot for Niels to cover today. So with that said, I will turn it over to him to go through the agenda items.
Well, it's a very thorough outline, so I'm not sure I have much to add. I would note as it relates to the Pennsylvania budget and the approval of funding, but the good news there as well, we have received all the funding that had been kind of held in advance, so that's all in. And prospective funding looks like it's lined up and ready to go. As I mentioned, we on the financial audit and a single audit, we expect those to be complete by January 31st. For the financial statements, we requested and received obviously BDE for a month. And this will, I think, be a good opportunity to wrap it all up together. So agreed upon procedures, single audit, and financial statements should all be complete by January 31st. And then we'll certainly walk through the consent items as we go forward, but otherwise I think it's, that was a good summary, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Governance Committee, Trustee Fazelar.
Thank you, Chair. Happy holidays to everybody. The Governance Committee met on Thursday, December 11th. We had a productive discussion around creating a board resource database. And we are planning a robust new trustee orientation for later in the spring and summer.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Student Success Committee, Trustee Fuchs.
Yes, happy holidays to everybody, and I apologize for my appearance online. I'm trying not to share my germs with you this holiday season. The Student Success Committee met in committee on the 11th as well. And in particular, we were talking about success rates in entry-level courses of particular interest. And as reported, we will be following up with Jerry O'Sullivan on plans to take steps to further address these issues.
Thank you. If I could call on Trustee Magyar, who chaired the ad hoc committee on bylaws. Vince.
Thank you, and happy holidays, everyone. So the ad hoc committee established earlier this year to review the bylaws and make recommendations as to any updates that would be advantageous to the board, to the college. The subcommittee was composed of myself, Trustee Belucas, Delangelo, Bosler, Trulos, and Wersta. Chair Jennings was an ex officio member as well. We met on July the 9th, August 13th, or 10th of this year for a series of meetings to review the bylaws in the current state. We evaluated a variety of different resources from third-party AGB resources to statutes to other bylaws that are applicable to other community colleges and universities in the region. And so we presented a draft revision of the bylaws earlier to the board members. It's in meetings today, along with a short summary of the proposed changes and some of the, I guess, the high-level thinking behind those changes. And so today for your consideration is the opportunity to determine if we're going to accept those changes as presented. I would like to thank all the committee members for their time, their talents, and their commitment to this initiative. It's a very pleasure working with you all, and really appreciate all the time and effort put in. And also a special thanks to Dr. Jones and Ms. Beck-Brower for the time and input and insights they offered throughout this process.
Thank you, Vince, and thanks to all who helped in that effort. So now it's on for an action item here. Is there a motion to approve and accept the bylaws as presented by the ad hoc committee?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Make a comment before we vote.
Second.
Thank you, Brodus.
I just want to begin by saying that I have great respect and trust for my fellow trustees for the good faith in which we all serve. It's precisely because of that trust that I have concerns about adopting this bylaw provision at this time. The proposal would allow any individual trustee to file a complaint for review by the governance committee, yet it doesn't appropriately define procedures, standards for cause, or an administrative process to ensure fairness, consistency, and due process. A provision of this nature carries significant implications. I believe the board should first agree collectively on the procedural requirements, safeguards, and intent before considering the final adoption of the bylaw provision. I'm in favor of the bylaw provision if we have these pieces in place. Just to be clear, what are the items that we should be discussing as a full board? The clear defensible definition of cause, due process requirements, the relationship with the county commissioners, since the removal of a trustee will take place at the commissioner's public meeting, protection against misuse for political retaliation, consistency with governance norms and ADB guidance, interaction with our ethics policies, codes of conduct, and conflict of interest, transparency, record keeping and reputation, implementation and transition, and risk mitigation. So for these reasons, as I said, will vote to oppose the bylaw proposal until after the board retreat.
Thank you for your comment, Trustee Eisenhart. For the public, all of those issues have been addressed. Vince, you want to give a quick response?
Certainly. So some of those issues are already resident in the bylaws. For instance, there are obligations to comply with conflict of interest policy and any ethics policy. Additionally, the whole bylaws, of course, is to establish the obligation and responsibility. From there, the governance committee would be tasked with developing the kind of putting the meat on the bone, if you will, of the specifics for going about and developing the cause definitions, the concepts related to due process and things of that sort. Not to mention the fact that we've also added in a provision that would have the board adhere to certain requirements related to the parliamentary authority, which lays out certain due process and other related rights, so that there is a fundamental fairness kind of applied to this process. So that is in place, at least in the draft bylaw, and to Trustee Eisenhart's comments, certainly those items need to be fleshed out and would be fleshed out. It's just that would be in the committee structure subsequently to the authority under the bylaws.
Anything further? Ms. Brower, call the roll, please.
Jim Dancing,
Approved.
Rhoda Davis,
Yes.
Blake Eisenhardt,
No.
Jamie Fasco. Yes. Ronnie Hughes,
Yes.
Sean Suda,
Yes.
Jennings,
Yes.
Adrian King,
Yes.
Vince Aguirre,
Yes.
Carol Leone Ferguson. Yes. John Murray,
Yes.
Ed Talkmagian,
Yes.
Bill Worcester.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again, Vince, for taking that task on. Niels will discuss the Aleutian contract. consent items, if you would, please.
Thank you, Chair Jones. So we've been reviewing over the last several months the possibility of migration from the Workday student information system based on requirements of the college, and have evaluated the Fusion product and have determined that it's appropriate to move forward. And thank you. Under an agreement with Ellucian. It's a 10-year agreement. It is the implementation will occur over the next 18 to 24 months. We have been able to ensure that it will be cost neutral for the college as it relates to both the implementation period over that 10-year life. And so recommend moving forward with that agreement, and again, adding Ellucian as the provider for the student information system.
Hold it right there, Niels, for a moment. Is there a motion to accept and approve the action to adopt the Ellucian contract?
I'll move. I'll second, Chair Jones.
Moved in second. Roll call, Ms. Brower.
Jim Dancy,
Yes.
Rhoda Davis,
Yes.
Blake Eisenhardt,
Yes.
Jamie Fasselord. Yes. Ronnie Hughes,
Yes.
Thomas Huda,
Yes.
Tom Jennings,
Yes.
Adrian King,
Yes.
Vince Magyar,
Yes.
Carol Mignoni Ferguson. Yes. John Murray,
Yes.
Ed Talkmagian,
Yes.
Bill Worcester.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And now, Niels, anything further on the consent agenda items?
Just a couple items I would highlight, and then certainly can take questions on anything else. The first is rescission of policy 1.23, excuse me, which is non-resident tuition. There is a policy which is 1.22, which basically states that tuition will establish fees and tuition in accordance with state laws and regulations. 1.23 deals with non-county or non-resident tuition. It's largely redundant since that all occurs in the context of 1.22. And so I think as part of our ongoing policy or effort to rationalize different policies that we have out there and align them and make sure that they're current, the recommendation is to remove policy 1.23 and just default to 1.22, which is already.
It's duplicative, in other words. And the governance committee has met on this, discussed this. Okay.
The other item is just, this is the time of year when we come to the board for review and approval of any course fees. We have been able to, I think, generally retain all course fees at their current levels. There's no intent to raise any. The only request we have for the board relates to program fees associated with our new Vet Tech program. Those fees will be $185 a semester over the 4-semester cohort progress, if you will. So for the 2 years that they're in that program. So that's the only fee that we're asking for. As was mentioned earlier, with the county funding, we've been able to ensure that we didn't have to raise other course fees. So hopefully that's a benefit to all the student population. But this was one that it's a new program and there are fees associated with it. So we recommend the program fee as I outlined.
Thank you, Niels. And again, I would just note that all of the items on the consent agenda have been reviewed by either the finance committee or the governance committee or both. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Board comment, any further board comment today?
Sure, Jenny, I had 2 items.
Go ahead, Ed.
Former student of Bucks and just graduated, might I add. Took advantage of our transfer program here, moving to a 4-year university and then doing international studies in Paris and London. So at that time, I took advantage of the international program, and I can tell you it was really a worthwhile investment. It was a great opportunity. So as a community college, I just simply wanted to say that as we continue to provide more programs, expand opportunities, and provide more value to the students of this community, it's just really exciting to know that now we're able to offer an international program right here at Bucks for students to accomplish their goals. So great opportunity. Second, I wanted to just mention that I served as a judge at the DECA competition that was held just about a week or so ago. I simply wanted to thank the staff. It was a well-run event, really was seamless. I believe a few years ago, they were at another school and they decided to come to Bucks because of the fact that we're all able to offer the facilities here. And they've been doing it ever since. And from what I understand, it was the largest attendance for the DECA competition this year too as well. These types of events really open the door to students across the county and region to get a feel for Bucks and what this college actually has to offer. So many of our area high school students are involved with these programs and competitions. So it's just a great opportunity to showcase this college, and I would simply encourage that we continue to open our doors to those types of events. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And also want to congratulate Ed on his election to the Ben Salem Township Council.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything further? With that, Merry Christmas to all, Happy Holidays to all, and to all a good night. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
adjourn. Thank you very much. And Dr.